Ladies, gentlemen, and others, please gather yourselves so well and warm up. And let's welcome the United States Ambassador Natalie E. Brown, U.S. Mission Uganda, to come and officially open our dialogue today. Give us a welcome.
If you'll permit me, I'll take off my mask. So hopefully that you can hear me a little bit more clearly. Thank you so much, Tom, for such a lovely introduction. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me. UCAA Uganda members, the political leaders gathered, bishop and other religious officials, certainly members of the police, the healthcare workers, the Plus community, human rights defenders, and all of our other friends and colleagues here. Good morning, all protocols observed. I'm really pleased to see all of you here today, and it is an honor for me to be with you as we address the benefits of diversity and emphasize the importance of inclusion of LGBTQI+ people in all that we do. I think, as many of you may be aware, the United States and the American people observed Pride Month in June, and people around the world joined us in a variety of ways as well, holding seminars on equal rights, volunteering, holding film festivals, leading awareness-raising marches through city streets, and also conducting vaccination drives. And I mention that because I see some of you are masked up. I had mine on. COVID is still with us. It's not going away. Vaccinations are so important to keeping all of us safe and healthy so that we can gather at events like this. And for people in the LGBTQI+ community who may be HIV positive or who may have AIDS, COVID is particularly dangerous for them. So I call on all of you to get vaccinated if you have not already done so, to encourage your friends, your families, and everyone who loves you to be vaccinated. I will share with you, I am fully for all that choose to practice or not to practice a religion of choice. Unfortunately, when it comes to LGBTQI+ persons and their rights, our institutions can be intolerant or even fearful, which can lead to the perpetuation and condoning of violent and hateful acts. According to the 2014 Uganda National Population and Housing Census, more than 98% of Ugandans identify as Catholic, Protestant, born-again Christian, Muslim, or as a member of another major religious community. Faith is clearly deeply ingrained in the lives of most Ugandans, including LGBTQI+ Ugandans. And a common thread that runs through all religious teachings, regardless of cultural, societal, or even historical setting, is to call to love one another, to care for one another, and to forgive one another. These religious teachings further call upon each one of us to strive to be the very best version of ourselves in community with our fellow human beings. This includes resisting the urge to spread hate, intolerance, bigotry, and violence, and standing up against these practices when we see them. Hate is not a religious value, yet it is unfortunately too often spread by religious leaders and other members of society who do not view all human beings as having dignity and being worthy of love. As societies, we have progressed and now reject, in theory, perhaps not fully in practice, we reject the hatred or discrimination against women or racial and ethnic minorities. We have to do the same for the LGBTQI+ people in our lives. For our brothers, for our sisters, for our aunts, our uncles, our parents, our neighbors, our friends, and our work colleagues, because they're part of our communities, they're all around us. LGBTQI+ people are and have been and will continue to be a part of the human community and communities of faith. They join us in the queue for lunch at the canteen. They experience the same frustration while sitting to answer tough examinations at school. They work next to us, and they bow alongside us in prayer when we congregate for religious activities. It is critical that religious leaders and all people of good conscience reflect upon our individual roles in making society and our communities more inclusive and ensuring that we are not instruments of hate, because a society that rejects its diversity instead of embracing it is a society in conflict with itself. The U.S. government remains steadfast in its efforts to advocate for a world free of discrimination, where all people, including LGBTQI+ persons, live lives of dignity, health, and equality. American history shows us the damage that can be done when we reject these ideals. Yet the American experience is also full of examples of what we can achieve when we embrace, protect, and advance these values. The U.S. government will continue to use all of its diplomatic outreach to encourage authorities and communities all over the world to be tolerant and inclusive of minorities and all communities. And they can appreciate for their work advocating for LGBTQI+ persons, and I commend everyone who is gathered here today who will take messages of love and acceptance back to their communities. You know, they say the first step is the hardest, and I'm hopeful that the step that we all make here today is one towards building more inclusive and peaceful Uganda. Thank you.